Hey guys, well, welcome to the first episode of our at-home Pilates series, where it's you and me on our mats in the comfort of our living rooms. So when you're ready, today I've got a quick but fiery core workout. So come on over onto your mats and let's get started. And just remembering, because it is a quick workout, you're going to give it all you've got, right? Perfect. So we're going to start today in some core activation work, as we always do, because you need to activate those muscles if you want to get the most out of your workout. Now, we're just going for some simple hip rolls. So I want you lying on your backs, knees bent, hip width apart, parallel. Excellent. Nice neutral spine, hands by your side. Making sure that your shoulder blades are rolled back and down, sticking to the mat. Brilliant. Now let's get started. We're going to tuck in that pelvis bone, imprinting the spine, and we're going to roll one vertebra at a time, peeling our spine up off the mat and coming into a hip bridge position like so. We're going to hold this pose for a moment. You're sucking in those glutes, you're engaging the core, you're using those quads and thighs. Now, on your inhale, you're going to reverse that roll back down. So shoulder blades come down, middle of the spine, until our tailbone meets the mat for one. Once again, exhale as you curl up, tucking through that pelvic bone, drawing up one vertebra at a time until you come into that hip bridge. Amazing. And reversing it back down on the inhale. Excellent work. Using the breath here to warm up the body. Remembering here, we're going to engage the core. You're drawing those ribs down towards your hip bones. Making sure as well that your ribs are not flaring out. You want to keep them sewn together, nice and tight and low. Excellent work. We're just here for a couple more, making sure that your feet are nice and planted on the mat as you press up. Inhale to lower, articulating one vertebra at a time with a lot of control, a lot of intention to set this workout. It's our last one. Brilliant. Now, instead of articulating through the spine, we're simply going into our pelvic press. So you're just going to do one swift movement up into that bridge. So inhaling to prepare, and on your exhale, we're going to lift for one. Inhale to lower back down, tapping that tailbone. Exhale to lift for two. And inhale to lower. Squeezing through the glutes here as you lift, squeezing through the thighs and the quads. We're working a lot of different muscles. We're drawing those ribs down towards the hip bones to keep the core engaged, activating those abdominal muscles. Amazing. Halfway through, just keep going here. Eye gaze is straight up towards the ceiling. Nice elongated back of the neck. You're keeping those palms pressed into the mat as well for support. Excellent. Let's just go for four. Really gaining some height here. For three. For two. One more for one. And lowering down. Excellent. Now we're going into our first ab move. I want you to keep those hands by your side, but we're hovering our arms just off the mat like so. We're going into our simple ab curls. So inhale to prepare, and on your exhale, you're going to curl up like so. You're bringing your head, shoulders, and shoulder blades up off the mat. Eye gaze comes straight ahead. Slight tuck of the chin. I want you to imagine that you've got a tennis ball between your chin and your chest, trying to hold it in place. And on your inhale, lowering back down with control for one. Exhale to curl up. And inhale to lower for two. I want you to keep going with this movement here. Nice and slow, with control, keeping those shoulders down. We don't want those shoulders creeping towards the ears. Now remember here that Pilates is all about that slow, intentional movement. Really visualize the muscles that you're trying to work here. You'll get so much more out of the workout then. Perfect, keep going. I really want you to try and get some height as you come up into that curl. Your shoulder blades want to come up off the mat. Sucking that navel in towards the spine to keep the core engaged. Brilliant. Now this is a flow workout, so every movement we're going to be layering on. So we've got 2 more of these ab curls, and then on our next ab curl, we're going to lift that right leg up into tabletop position at the same time. So when you're ready, exhale to curl up and draw that right leg up into that beautiful 90-degree bend. And then inhale to lower down as you return your back to the mat. So exhale to curl up, drawing that right leg up into tabletop, and inhale to lower. Exhale, curl up, and inhale to lower. Amazing work. Keep going here with control. Now remembering, you want to make sure your leg stays in a nice 90-degree bend the whole time. Pointing through those toes as well to keep the leg muscles engaged. Now you're trying to draw that chest up towards the thigh. Perfect. Let's go for 3 more here, and then we're going to layer on. So that's 2 and 1. Now, on your next curl up, you're drawing that right leg in. We're extending the right leg out like so, pointing through those toes. We're drawing it back in to that right angle and releasing back down for 1. So exhale to curl up, draw that right leg to tabletop, extend out, draw back in and release for 2. Let's keep going here. Now remembering to keep those shoulders up off the mat. We want as much height in that ab curl as we can to really work those lower abs. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can also put your hands behind your head, intertwined at the base of your head and your neck. That way, you're going to get a bit more of a challenge because you're going to start working those upper abdominals. If you do that though, make sure to keep your elbows flared out the whole time. Excellent work. We're here for 3. Pointing those toes. For 2. For 1. You can hear my hip bone cracking. All right, we're curling up. We're drawing it out, extending long. We're simply going to hold that ab curl. We're going to lower the right leg down, hovering above the mat. Exhale to draw back up. Inhale to lower. Exhale to draw back up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, draw back up. Keep going with this movement. As you can see, I'm flexing the foot as I lower, and I'm inhaling to draw back up. That's the whole movement here. I'm going to bring my hands behind my head like so to create a bit more support in that head area so that my neck isn't getting too painful or too sticky. Keeping those shoulder blades up off the mat here. Remember, it's a quick workout, so really put the effort in. You've got this. Let's go for 5. For 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Amazing. Drawing that leg in towards your chest, taking a second here to reset. Perfect. Now, drawing those legs back in towards your booty, feet planted on the mat. We're going to do this all on our left leg now, starting with those simple abdominal curls up. So when you're ready, inhale to prepare, and on your exhale, we're curling up and lower back down on your inhale for 1. Exhale to lift up, inhale to lower. Remembering your eye gaze goes straight forward. You've got that tennis ball between your chin and your chest. Arms are hovering nice and strong above the mat. Using your breath. So your breath is very much an accessory or a tool in the practice of Pilates. You're using your breath for each movement to give you power, to give you control. Your breath is your best friend in this practice. Excellent. Keeping that height. We're working that core here. It was not a joke when I said we would. All right, let's go for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Remembering we're adding that tabletop for the left leg. For 1. All right, so we're curling up. We're drawing that left leg into tabletop. And then inhale to lower back down for 1. Exhale to lift up, drawing that leg up. Inhale to lower for 2. Keep going here. Pointing through the toes. Excellent. Keeping that nice, beautiful 90-degree shape with the leg. Remembering as well that you're trying to melt those rib bones down towards your hip bones. Keep those shoulders nice and low. We don't want them creeping up towards the ears. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. As you exhale, you're releasing it through your mouth with pursed lips. Inhale through your nose. Let's go for 5. For 4. And you're just simply tapping that toe to the mat. Excellent. For 2. For 1. All right, so we're adding on here. We're curling up, we're raising that left leg up. We're extending it out long, pointing those toes. We're drawing it back into that 90 degrees and lowering down for 1. Exhale to come up, extend that left leg out, drawing it back in and lowering for 2. Keep going with this combination movement. As you can see, I'm really using control here to extend, to point through those toes. You're reaching with those toes, keeping that leg muscle working as well. Now, I probably sound like a broken record, but remember, you're bringing those shoulder blades up off the mat to get the most out of this workout. Excellent. Keep going here. You have got this. Amazing. All right, let's go for 4. For 3. For 2. You know what's coming. For 1. All right, we're drawing up. We're extending that left leg. We're flexing the foot and lowering to hover, point, and drawing up for 1. Exhale, lowering, flexing the foot, point, and draw up. Sorry, inhale to lower, and exhale to lift up. Keep going. Bringing my hands behind my head for a bit more support here. Keeping those shoulders lifted, keeping that chest up. Working the core. We're here for 5. For 4. Going at your own pace. 3, 2, 2.5, I'm kidding, and 1. Amazing. Drawing that left leg in towards our chest, taking a quick stretch here. Doing an amazing job. We're almost done. Keep it up. Stay with me here. All right. So now I want to make sure that you've imprinted the spine here. So you're going to tuck that pelvis in, creating a nice flat back on the mat. So there's no space between your lower back and the mat. We're coming up into that tabletop position, and then we're going to extend our legs all the way up into a nice straight position. We're going to curl up into that ab curl. So this is a bit more spicy. Feel free to keep your legs in tabletop if you need. We're simply going to pulse the arms like so for 10. And then we're going to raise the arms up to the sky and pulse through the curl like so. So you're going upwards. All right, when you're ready, take that inhale. Let's pulse those arms for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bringing the arms up. Let's pulse for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got this. 7, 8, 9, 10. Drawing back. Let's pulse again those arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Draw them up. Let's pulse the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just one more round. Let's pulse those arms. Eye gaze forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. I was getting puffed at the end of that. All right, amazing. Drawing those legs out. We're almost done today, guys. Okay, we're bringing our arms up over our head. We're reaching through those fingers. We're pointing through those toes. Inhaling to prepare. And on your exhale, we're going to sweep those arms forward. And as we do, we're rolling up, using the core to bring us up. Coming over into that forward stretch. Try and grab onto your toes if you can. And then taking a moment in the stretch, drawing your hands up to the sky. Nice, beautiful straight back. Using your core, sucking that navel in towards the spine. And then we're going to come into a roll back here. To do so, we're going to bring those arms forward. You're coming into a C curve with your spine. So as you can see, I've created a beautiful curve in my spine by rounding. The core is engaged. You're melting those ribs down towards your hip bones. And slowly, with control, lower down. Excellent. Once again, inhale, exhale with power. Let's come up, come over, reaching for those toes. Take a second, bringing your arms up towards the sky, nice straight back, like there's a piece of string pulling your head up towards the sky. And then coming into that beautiful C curve. With control, nice and slow. See how slow you can go to get down to the mat. Amazing. 2 more here. Sweeping those arms up, coming through, reaching for the toes. Bringing those arms up. C curve, C curve, C curve. Really nice and slow. And 1 more. Remember, you're not using the momentum of your arms here. You're drawing yourself up through those abs. Excellent work. Forward, coming up, curving in. Great work. All right, to finish off, we're gonna try something a little spicy. If you don't feel like doing that, that's completely fine. Feel free to come into a ball stretch. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to draw our legs up like so. We're going to press our hands and our forearms into the mats, and we're going to draw our legs using our core up and over into our plow pose, like so. Flex those feet. Again, you're really using your hands and your forearms for support and stabilization here. See if you can come into this position. Now we're going to lower one vertebra at a time through the core. Excellent. Until we get to about here, and we're going to do it again. So you're drawing those legs in, you're coming up and over. Flex the feet, and with control, lower back down. Coming to about that far from the ground. And once again, let's come up, rolling over, flex the feet. This time, as you come down, we're going to draw like a heart shape with our feet, opening up, around, down, coming to the point of the heart. Once again, up, over, flex the feet, coming down, opening up, drawing that beautiful heart shape until we reach the point. I'll go for 2 more here. Remember, you're using your core. Excellent. And 1 more. Now, if you can't get to a plow position yet, that's totally fine. I'll show you an alternative very quickly. So all you would have to do is you just roll to about here. Practice doing that, okay? And with time, as your core strengthens, you'll be able to get to that plow. So we'll work on that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this workout today. I sure did. Definitely feeling it. Now join me next time for a full body workout, beginner's edition. And remember, please, to like, subscribe, and comment. I love hearing from you. I love being a part of this community. Let me know what you thought of this workout. Love you all.